Representing the 23 to 24 foot class in the bay boat category, the Triton 240 LTS Pro has an overall length of 24 feet, a beam of 8 feet 6 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 350. Built for handling inshore and offshore waters comfortably, she has a draft of 13 inches, a dead rise of 15 degrees, a dry weight of 2,550 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 96 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, Dave East and Rick Riles.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the Triton 240 LTS Pro. And this boat's a little different from a lot of the bay boats that we've tested because what Triton has done, they've stayed true to their high-performance bass boat heritage, and they've incorporated a lot of those bass boat technology and design features into this bay boat.
And what you're referring to is riding on the pad. And you know what? Didn't take long for me to be convinced it is an advantage.
Well, the biggest advantage of is obviously speed, and there's nothing more exhilarating than getting on a boat, hitting the throttle, and just getting pinned back in the seat. Come on, I can't tell you how many times that you do it, it just never gets old. I mean, we're kids at heart, and I think that plays to that. But the biggest thing is once you're up on that pad, it's less wetted surface. And like a lot of the step hulls we've been testing, less wetted surface, less drag, more fuel efficiency, more speed. It just makes total sense to have a pad under that hull to help get that hull out of the water.
You don't have to be on this boat long to understand that it was designed to fish from. Can you take your family? Sure. It is designed as a fishing boat from bow to stern. And I tell you what, let's take a step back and look at the stuff that makes it so unique. It's an awfully good representative of a 24-foot bay boat.
All right, good idea. Let's start here with this great big bow casting deck, because this is something that's unique in a 24-foot bay boat. Well, you've got locking rod boxes on both sides that can hold all the outfits that you would need to carry in a boat this size. Huge box behind you that's insulated. Of course, anchor locker here in front, but just the sheer size of the deck, it separates it from a lot of the other 24s, and so I like this. It's a good feature. We got the little step downs on both sides, so let's get down in the cockpit and let's take a look at the console, because that's something else we haven't seen on these 24-foot bay boats yet. Okay, if you look at the design of the center console, it really fits the boat well. You've got a front entry door. Now in this particular boat, they've put their batteries under the console. There's plenty of room if you wanted to put a head down there. But what's unique about the batteries under the console is the fact that you can service them and they're right there. It just makes so much more sense to put the batteries where you can get to them. We haven't seen a cockpit yet this large in a 24-foot boat, and the way they were able to accomplish that, we still have gunnels, but they're narrow gunnels. Keeping the gunnel small like that, look how much more room we've got. If you and I want to walk past that console at the same time, no sweat.
Right, come around here behind the console with me and let's check out this rocket launcher. You know who I want to meet? I want to meet the guy that designed everything from here to here. This rail is necessary and very functional, and it really adds to the design of the console, having the pad there to keep stuff from bouncing back.
Well, they've kept a little edge here, the little fiddle if you want to call it that. They went a step further and added that rail, and so they knew how important that was.
You and I both appreciate these drink holders that are that simple, but yet won't let any water in your boat.
And the switch panel. I know we've talked about it before, but you know what? Give me a simple switch.
Old guys love switches.
Back and forth. I don't need a push button thing. I certainly don't need a glass panel. If it's rough, you can actuate it. You just look at the switch, you know if it's on, you know it's off. Sometimes simple, it's just better. They're leaner here. You can either lean against it or you can flop the seat down. We see this on a lot of boats, but really you don't need anything more than this. It's comfortable to stand, it's comfortable to sit.
And it's more than that. I'm a big troller, you know that, and I love even trolling from my bay boats. If I'm here, my rod's right here. I know you love backrest and all that. I love being able to reach your rod, pick it up, hand it to my buddy and say, there, you got a fish on.
We're gonna look at the casting deck. It's a little smaller than we've seen on other boats, but there's a good reason why. Let me show you. Oh, we talked a little earlier about the size of the cockpit and the fact that you've got so much square footage. One of the reasons you do is they've made their rear casting deck this small. It's plenty big. They've made provisions for a pedestal seat back here, so you've got enough room if you do want to fish from back here, but they haven't made it so big where it encroaches into your cockpit.
And look, it's plenty big enough for you and I to fish back here, and you're not going to fish more than 2 people on your stern platform. What's the use? This way you've got more room inside if you're offshore.
But not only that too, we've got a really big release well right here in the center. I'm standing on top of a live well. You've got access to the bilging systems under your side, and then especially here in the back, this long hatch, you open it up and everything is right there. All your pumps, all your hoses, all your fittings, it's easy to reach.
For a 24-foot bay boat, she's got almost unprecedented room inside the cockpit while still having a big bow platform, being the right size back here, and an excellent console layout. I gotta tell you, it's impressive.
Well, as far as fishing boats go, Triton stayed true to their roots. Yeah, this is a fishing boat, but they didn't go so far toward fishing that they left out the family and some other things. These jump seats in the back are nice. Even got a little molded swim platform with a folding ladder in the back.
There's a lot of things that really speak to me as a fisherman about this Triton 240 LTS Pro. I think they've got it dialed in.